This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 1, and it reads, Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Also thou, son of man, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power unto the land of Israel, the end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. Verse 4, And mine eyes shall not pity, Salaki, and my eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. Verse 6, the end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Kohaloyim, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakados Wakatam. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders, a great millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the I came across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwatani, I came out there listening and learning, Lord, willingly this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of the other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. This is the brother Yahweh Sop out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and through the power of your help out your Shai. It's lucky. So looking for a lesson. Came across this article on Newsbreak. It's from CNBC, and it reads, Families will skip meals to deal with the cost of living crisis. UN Special Advocate says. Now the thing is, this is on a worldwide scale. Now some people are being affected more by this, some people aren't, but nonetheless, truth of the matter is, you're gonna see this on a wider scale. So it reads, then they bring in the factors of the fact that that war and yada yada yada, but this is being ultimately designed on by people in power, the elite, and it's even kind of mockery, like they're mocking with this Queen Maxima of the Netherlands. Who the fuck is this lady? For you to speak. So what are you going to do about it, being that you see that this is going to affect more and more households? So the increase of food prices of the magnitude that we're seeing of energy prices basically will mean that a lot of families are going to have to have from 3 or 2 meals a day to have one. And who was that that insider that made the statement? He said, "Kill your dog and go back and eat lentils." I remember somebody, it was one of the elders or one of the brothers, was like, well, "That's how you know that Esau upset about his, basically for what happened between Jacob and Esau, with the lentils." So the war between Russia and Ukraine, both major producers of food, commodities, and energy, has disrupted global production. According to the World Bank latest commodity markets outlook report, energy prices in 2022 are expected to rise by over 50%, while wheat prices forecast to soar by more than 40%. And I was just listening to the elder brother Amawan Gabar, and he was going into how basically, they had ran a simulation and what would happen if the lights going out. Then you got this this mini documentary, Blackout, that brother's been checking out and speaking on. This ain't by coincidence, but more by design. Like the elder said, look for something to happen this year, and I can see it happening. Because they're trying to say basically, then Americans won't be able to sustain all the different energy, and they've always said that how the energy grid was basically at risk. That's why Elon Musk, like, I think all the states are connected to the same grid except for Texas, and that's why Texas is like in that movie Bushwick, where they Texas succeeded and they invaded Texas because they Texas, that's when Elon Musk, I believe, they did something out there. If you recall last year when Elon Musk was out there I don't know if they, he built some separate power stations or something. But if you go research it, you'll find out Elon Musk was out there and he put a lot of money in that state. So this Queen Maxima of Netherlands has told CBNC that she is very worried about the impact of soaring foods and energy prices on families, adding that this could lead to increased instability in certain regions. And that's the whole point of what made me want to do the video, because it's not could, but it will, made me think of the scripture in the second Ezra. This is second Ezra chapter 15, and I'm going to start at verse 14. It reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Verse 15, "For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." So you're going to have nations against nations. You're going to have race wars. You're going to, I forgot who was going in on that, but I think it was the Elder Malcolm. He did a video and they was showing how these Edomites gonna be against the other Edomites because they know that most of their people is the ones that sold them out. And it was a video where the Edomites said, "Well, we're not going against our darker complected brethren," or something along those lines. But basically, they're coming for the politicians. So, but Jay gonna get caught up in that because you gotta remember, at the end of the day, it's Jacob's trouble. It's gonna be Esau's trouble as well, but for the most part, scriptures speak on Jacob's trouble. So it might start off with war against Esau against Eve, but let's believe the Lord is about to teach you Jake's a lesson. It reads verse 16, "For there shall be sedition among men, evading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation." And like the whole article brings up, being because of the rise in all these different costs, literally, looking at people going to be starving. There's enough scriptures that go into that. It also reads in Book of Second Ezra, chapter 8, verse 50, about how many great miseries will be brought to the earth because they have walked in their great pride. And it's spiritual because one of the elders or one of our heads was bringing out in the group chat about how no matter who it is, if it's a female, a child, a bum on the street, all these people are proud. An increase of food prices of the magnitude that we're seeing of energy prices basically will mean a lot of families are going to have from 3 or 2 meals a day to have 1 meal a day. And this in turn will actually will be the source of even more instability in other regions. So that worries me a lot. Maxima said, speaking exclusively to CNBC last week at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. And that's deep because, as of lately, a lot of brothers been going in about this Davos, Switzerland, and this World Economic Forum. Maxima, the UN Secretary General Special Advocate for Inclusive Finance for Development, told CNBC that the pandemic has pushed many more into extreme poverty and increases in the price of fertilizers could have short and long-term implications. A trained economist, Maxima previously worked in international finance and emerging markets. We're going to be seeing now because of inflation. But we're going to be seeing also in the next year because when you don't have fertilizers, you cannot increase your yield. So therefore, you're going to see less produce coming out from Africa, which actually feeds each other there. So you're going to have less food. So the prices are even probably going to go up by even more. So very worrying, she said. If you want to read this article, you can. I'm going to copy it. So, with that being said, let's go to the final scripture, the book of Matthew. And I know these scriptures are repetitive to a degree, but, the scriptures speak for themselves as well, they clear cut and straight to the point. And it also talks about, that's showing you the Most High speaking even more clearly because it doesn't have to be drawn out or all elaborate, sweet, concise, precisely to the point. And you can't buck up and deny the fact that it's truth or these scriptures. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, I'm going to start at verse 3, and it reads, "And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua, who you people ignorantly call Jesus, answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, which you're seeing, Ukraine against Russia, and kingdom, although those are the same people that consider themselves two different nations right now, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences. And there shall be famines and pestilences. You got the CV, the M, the monkey, monkey paw. You got this. They talking about in less than 2 months you're gonna have no wheat. So famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And that's going into that great persecution that's coming, because at the end of the day, it's prophesied to, you know. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. I hear Vocab Malone is back in the, I believe the elder apostle, the beloved elder apostle Tahar just made mention of him and the side nigga, because you got to be a nigga. Like say, on one hand, you talking about the uplifting of your people, but then you really doing things for filthy lucre, you know. So it reads, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, because of the sin upon sin. So iniquity is sin upon sin, and this place is becoming more sinful by the day, just the abominations galore, because these sins are abounding, people are going to wax colder and colder. And that's why, it's going to get to a point, a person ain't going to care about a child eating. Shit, hell, you got to have some of these people's judgment is to eat their children. And that child's lot was to be eaten. So, we coming into very perilous times. Right now is not a time to be playing for those in the truth, or for those that's in the world, and definitely for those in the truth. So if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. And with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to called Loyim, La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Chakadash Rakatham. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this was edified. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations. Shalom to Israelite foreigners in the other nations. Inside the Israelite foreigners that appear like the other nations but subscribe to this truth to USA Shalom. Until next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom. Mawaf Lababal. Shalom.